we're living in a world, we're all living in a toxic world. The world is sick. Like the world has cancer right now. Trees are dying. The chemtrails, the soil is sick. The water is contaminated. The air in the world is contaminated. The only thing that we can do is to keep our self-healing mechanisms strong. And in order to keep our self-healing mechanisms strong, we have to keep our bodies clean. It all comes back to simplicity. I mean, after years of looking out here for the answer, I finally realized that the answer was right here, and realized that no disease can exist inside of a clean body.
The garbage chute. We got to take the garbage out.
Okay.
Clean the colon.
Clean the colon.
We got to clean the colon.
So how do
Colon
we
has
clean
to.
it?
Coffee enemas. We can use colon hydrotherapy.
Okay.
My preference is usually with herbal supplements, using herbal cleanses
Like psyllium,
psyllium,
bentonite?
cascara sagrada,
Cascara,
bentonite, slippery elm bark,
Okay.
buckthorn. Very, very good.
Okay.
Very good. Those are good herbs.
When we opened our cancer clinic in 1998, our main focus was how can we keep the intestines clean on a regular basis? Because we found most people, I mean, prescription drugs, over 900 prescription drugs, 90% of them cause constipation. They also kill the intestinal flora. Chemotherapy ruins the intestinal lining.
And the most important step for the human body is daily, gentle detoxification. It's like everything in life, you know. If you exercise a little bit each day, you show that you love your family a little bit each day, and you show you love your body a little bit each day, then we wouldn't get into this mess, would we?
Liver cleansing is probably one of the most effective ways of boosting your self-healing mechanism. Each liver cleanse is going to boost the liver production and efficiency by 10 to 15%, which means another thing we found in research is that most cancer and degenerative disease patients need multiple liver cleanses. The beauty of cleansing is you can do it in conjunction with any doctor that you're seeing or any cancer doctor. As a matter of fact, we've had 4-stage cancer patients that have just done intestinal cleansing and balancing and multiple liver and gallbladder cleansing without taking any other supplement, 4th stage, with 2 weeks left to live, that have been sent home to die, that have continued liver cleansing and intestinal biosis, you know, fixing their intestines and just doing liver cleanse, liver cleanse, liver cleanse.
My morning shake is lemon and the juice of 1 lemon and 1 lime, and you can add orange too if you want to. And then you add about a cup of water, a bunch of ice cubes, as many as you want to make it the temperature you want, a tablespoon of olive oil, 1 garlic clove, and a little chunk of ginger. And that's day 1. Day 2, it's 2 cloves of garlic and 2 tablespoons of olive oil, and then day 3, 3 and 3, 4 and 4, day 5, 5 and 5, 5 garlic cloves, 5 tablespoons of olive oil, and the rest is the same. Don't breathe anyone that day.
Oh, because of
No,
garlic.
I'm teasing you.
Right. Well, either make sure that your husband and wife is drinking it with you, right?
Or eat 2 on parsley. That
Okay.
takes away the garlic
Yeah.
breath. So that is, along with a carrot salad, a beet salad, and potassium broth soup, a beet juice drink, and a green juice drink. That is your liver cleanse, gentle liver cleanse program. And then you can add salads and soups and stir fries, but it should be an all vegetable week. It's a wonderful, gentle, very gentle liver cleanse. There are many others that are more heavy duty with herbs and different tinctures that you can add in. But if you want to do a gentle one, that is a great way to start working into it. Beets are wonderful for the liver. They're known as a liver food, liver cleanse food, along with many others, the dark leafy greens and carrot, olive oil, lemon juice, all of that is just wonderful for liver cleansing. And with my carrot salad and beet salad, I make them with the pulp. So I juice a beet first and pull out the pulp, and then I juice all my carrots to get a cup of pulp, and then add lemon juice and olive oil dressing to each of them. They're separate. I put cinnamon in there in my dressing because it just sparks up the flavor a whole lot. I love cinnamon. And then you eat your beet salad a couple tablespoons at a time throughout the day. Your carrot salad you can eat all at once. But it's done for you so fast. You know, it's all done for you.
And it really
Juicy.
cleanses the liver, all these steps together.
Yes, and if anyone has had chemo and radiation, extremely important that you cleanse your liver.
So step 1 in cleansing your body, total detoxification, the colon. Steps 2 and 3 are the kidneys and the liver.
You have 2 kidneys, 1 liver, you have 100 lymph nodes.
Okay.
And if you don't clean out those lymph nodes, there's no way to then drain the tissues. So if we clean the colon, clean the kidneys, clean the liver, lymph nodes would be the last thing to focus on.
Okay, and how do you do that?
That, you need things like cat's claw, pau d'arco, burdock root, the EFEKAT formula,
Right.
excellent for cleaning out the lymph nodes and draining those lymph nodes, getting the
Okay.
lymph fluid drained. Bounce on a trampoline, do those types of things, you know, get it moving, raise the temperature a little bit, it liquefies that lymphatic fluid, it flows easier.
So you've got 2 types of circulation in the body. You've got typically the blood, which everybody recognizes as the circulation, but then you've got the little known cousin that a lot of people don't recognize, and that's the lymphatics. And the lymphatics are the lymph nodes and the drainage system in the body that is basically there to remove waste product. So when people get the lymph nodes that are enlarged and the doctors say, oh my God, lymph nodes, we got to take them out, you know, you're just taking out the oil filters. Don't ever have your lymph nodes taken out, because if a lymph node gets hard, when you've got cancer, it means it's doing its job. It's filtering the cancer. It's holding on to that stuff. It's keeping it from disseminating out. You take that filter out. That's like having your car. You got a filter that's blocked. What do? You take out the filter and say, okay, now I don't have the problem. Nothing's blocking it. But now you've got all that sludge that was going into the filter before, now going right into the engine. You don't want that to happen. So the lymph nodes are part of the lymphatics drainage system.
Well, if you understand anything about the lymphatic system, critical drainage canal of the body, any restriction of that could put you at risk, particularly women who wear bras, the underwires, anything that restricts that area, because there's a lot of lymphatic, you know, as far as tissue.
We don't want to cut off that lymph, the system. So, you know, when we're wearing those tight bras, and I think it's another thing in society where women feel that's what they're supposed to do: buy more bras, get more underwire, more support, more, you know. But the fewer hours a woman can wear a bra, the better.
And that doesn't even get into the issue of underarm deodorants and antiperspirants that add a lot of issues of blocking the normal detox processes through the pores, like sweating. And if you stop that sweating, you actually will bioaccumulate even more. The lymphatic system will be under additional burden because of the toxic things like aluminum that are put in these things to stop you from perspiring or sweating.
We're meant to sweat, so I quit probably 20 years ago or more wearing antiperspirant. I still wear a natural organic deodorant, but I don't, even for men, as kind of taboo subject as this is, I definitely don't recommend antiperspirant for men or women. It's not that, if you know, we're meant to sweat.
So detox step number 4 is to clean the lymphatic system. And as you're about to hear from Dr. Edward Group, step number 5 is a parasite cleanse.
And then we would do a parasite cleanse as well after the first liver cleanse, because we knew that then the intestines would be ready to expel them, and then the liver would be able to deal with the toxins produced by the parasites once we start killing them off inside the body.
Okay, great. And then what were the ingredients in the parasite cleanse?
Well, we looked at a lot of different ingredients, and we decided that we would use the black walnut hull from the green hull. We would use American worm seed, epazote. We would use wormwood. We would use clove, kamala, and that combination with a couple other ones with bromelain, we would be able to, also using diatomaceous earth as a flow agent, we would be able to get rid of and purge the majority of the parasites inside the body.
And how long does the parasite cleanse portion take? How many days?
Parasite cleanse takes 6 weeks because that's the cycle of most parasites from the time that they lay eggs until the time they're an adult. So if you do a parasite cleanse for a shorter period than 6 weeks, then there might be eggs still left in there that might hatch. Now, the good news is this can all be done in conjunction with whatever doctor's supplements that you're currently taking, you know, whether you're doing ozone or anything. There's not any contraindications of doing an oxygen intestinal cleansing, doing liver and gallbladder cleansing, doing parasite cleansing, and then the last thing we would do would be chemical and heavy metal cleansing, which is also another factor that needs to be considered in conjunction with your cancer care.
We have a 5-step program which has been evolving since 1997. But the 5 steps I'll outline, the first is systemic detoxification. You have to clean up the body. If you don't detoxify the body, then there are too many things in the way for the body to function correctly. And most of these toxicities are causing a detrimental effect in the body. They're increasing oxidative stress, etc., etc. So what we know is poisons. There's different mechanisms of how these poisons affect the body. You're probably familiar with, I know you're familiar with the 7 toxicities, my whole philosophy that I have all the different toxicities, and it goes heavy metals, the persistent organic pollutants, the opportunistics, the bacteria, viruses, spirochetes, mycoplasma, yeast. The 4th one is energetics, like electromagnetic radiation, microwave energies, this, that, and the other. Ambient cell phone radiation is a big one. The 5th one is the most important in my opinion. That's emotional psychological toxicity. The 6th one is foods. Not what we're consuming, but because that falls into the 1st and 2nd metal and persistent organic pollutant toxicity. But the 6th one is foods, what we do to the foods, which I know is near and dear to your heart. The irradiation, the homogenization, the pasteurization, the genetic modification of foods, all these things that we do to food and change the basic molecular structure of the things that we're taking into our body to sustain ourselves. These are severely, severely detrimental to the body. And then the 7th toxicity is spiritual. So these toxicities that I'm talking about, that's the first step. We deal with all those things. The 2nd step is physiological optimization. So physiological optimization when you're dealing with a cancer patient would be, for example, the use of oxygen. Oxygen is highly detrimental to cancer because cancer is an obligate anaerobic metabolizer. It likes an oxygen-free environment. So if you give oxygen, it's detrimental to the cancer. The 3rd step is immune modulation. Now, immune modulation is an important component. You notice that I didn't say increasing the immune system or decreasing the immune system. I said modulating the immune system because each patient is going to be different. Generally speaking, a person that has cancer, they have a suppressed immune system. The immune system has been damaged and it's lower. So we want to repair that immune system. We want to get it back up. They're just recognizing now that the immune system is important in cancer. So the modulation of the immune system is key because you cannot have cancer if you have an adequate and functioning immune system. If you don't have a functioning immune system, now you can get cancer. Our goal in this 4th step is target acquisition. So we want the body to identify the cancer as being foreign. And the way we do that is through ARSOTA, and that stands for autogenous antigen receptor specific oncogenic target acquisition. That 4th step, ARSOTA, is designed to allow the individual's immune system to identify the cancer as being foreign. It's a fancy term for creating a vaccine specific to that individual's cancer, but it's not a vaccine. It's allowing the body to identify the cancer as being foreign. And when we give those injections, then the person's body starts responding. And then the 5th step is arguably the most difficult, and that's maintenance. Meaning that once you've crossed that line, you have to live your life a certain way.
Dr. Buttar uses a vaccine that's called ARSOTA. It's a completely non-toxic vaccine. We're going to strap on our seatbelts now. We're going to fly across the Atlantic Ocean to Cologne, Germany, and we're going to meet another doctor that uses a completely non-toxic vaccine in his practice in Cologne.
What we do here is both the total fever range, total body hypothermia, the local hypothermia. We do ozone therapy. We do vaccinations with dendritic cells and all kinds of things for immune restoration. The Nobel Prize for medicine in 2011 was awarded for 3 researchers who discovered the function of dendritic cells. And also then we quite a way jumped on their research and we further developed it, how to make dendritic cells from patients' simple own white blood cells. So that's what we do. And you can sort of say that dendritic cells can be seen as the policeman of the immune system, because these dendritic cells, they really migrate through your whole body. Everywhere they can come, tip of your nose, your liver, your prostate, they look for abnormal cells. And when they find one, then they quickly in a lymph node inform natural killer cells, and they kill. So dendritic cells can only sort of see what is right and wrong, but then they inform cells which have as a function to kill. and that's what happens. And if that functions well, then within 24 hours, a cancer cell which has been detected is then also killed. We can make from one simple blood draw and from monocytes or simple white blood cells, we can make a whole new generation policemen, dendritic cells, and they are given back. And so it's very safe because it's autologous, so body's own tissue, so there's no something from a donor, so it's absolutely safe, no side effects, no rejection. Except we once say people have a pacemaker. That's the only contraindication because a pacemaker can go astray when you put a strong electromagnetic field on it. Often, even in medical school, it is often portrayed that fever is the cause of illness, but it's opposite. Your body, the last attempt to activate your immune system is to produce fever, and when your body temperature goes up 1 degree, your immune system is in absolute state of alert, because so by normal core body temperature, the immune system is automatic pilot. It does its thing, so, but if there's any emergency, the only way to activate the immune system is through fever. There's no other way. What do I say a cancer patient who has now end-stage disease and told nothing we can do? I say, well, possibly we can still do something and give you hope because we do it very differently.
Most of you have probably heard about the placebo effect. But have you heard about the nocebo effect? You mentioned nocebo effect. What is nocebo effect?
Yeah, the placebo effect is really I will help, basically, because if you believe your physician, like your mother who's taking care of you, is going to heal you with
She gives you a sugar pill.
Exactly. The same thing is true, is that if you believe, or your doctor comes to you and you feel a negative vibe, or you think they don't like you, or they think you're going to die, it means I will harm. It means you believe that, you incorporate it into your life, your belief system, feeds into your physiology, and then you end up having an adverse effect or dying.
So the nocebo effect. So it's like the flip side of that coin.
It's the exact opposite.
Placebo is positive, nocebo is negative.
It's true, and it also tells us that physicians have an ethical and medical responsibility to be aware of their affect, to be aware of their belief system, and realize if they're quoting from some statistical data set of poor outcomes based on really outdated cancer therapies, let's say it's radiation and chemo, which is just absurd ultimately, it's on them. They have to educate themselves, and they should be inculcating into the patient a belief in the healing power that they have. If they don't know, I understand, they weren't trained on this, but they should probably be doing something else than treating people with cancer if they don't know that. And it's no longer just a bunch of people on the periphery like us saying, you know, you got to do better. It's New England Journal of Medicine, one of the highest impact journals, stating that this is a lethal force. Nocebo effect is as real as the placebo. They are responsible for what they say, what they know, and they should never pronounce someone dead based on statistics of an outdated way of treating people with cancer.
The reishi mushroom, the Biodefense and Bioshield Department of the United States did studies on the reishi mushroom for the big dogs, for swine flu, bird flu, some of the really nasty viruses. And at 1 to 100 dilution, it was showing huge virus killing abilities with this stuff. It ups your macrophages, it ups your immune system. One of the substances in mushrooms that makes them so medicinal and so potent against cancer is called beta-glucan.
So all of the mushrooms have beta-glucans and polysaccharides in them, and that's what makes them medicine. They also have CLA, which is conjugated linoleic acid. That's anti-inflammatory, and it also turns on a gene that regulates blood sugar and insulin, PPAR gamma. And in the same family is one of my favorite herbs, astragalus. Astragalus is huangqi in Chinese medicine, also an enormous amount of research, also rich in polysaccharides and beta-glucans, and really ramps up your white blood cells and your natural killer cells. So garlic actually has some anti-tumor activity, but it actually stimulates the excretion of a lot of toxic chemicals. So do the radish and cabbage family vegetables, which are rich in sulfur. And it's the sulfur that turns on your liver enzymes to start producing chemicals that detoxify.
We always want to recommend probiotics, right? Because, you know, the gut microbiome is one of the most important things to our health. And what people don't realize is that they understand, oh, when I take an antibiotic, it lowers the good bacteria in my gut. Right. But chemotherapy is, like, we would consider like 100 times stronger than an antibiotic. And that's why people lose weight. They have diarrhea, they have malabsorption, because when we give chemotherapy, it also knocks out the good bacteria in the gut. By doing that, then they have a malabsorption problem. Then their nutrition is poor. So no matter what they're eating, it goes right through them, and then they lose weight. They don't have enough strength. Their immune system's down, and then sometimes they die from the therapy, right? So we have to look at strengthening the GI tract. So a lot of times when we work with patients, looking at how do we keep your immune system up? How do we decrease swelling post-chemo or from the radiation? How do we decrease a burn, for example?
This was one of the things I wrote in my cancer book years ago. I said it's a good possibility that chemotherapy is damaging the brain. At that time, the literature was denying it. They said, well, no, it can't damage the brain because it can't get past the blood-brain barrier. And I didn't believe that. Well, now it's been proven. They went back and they looked at cancer survivors and measured their cognitive ability to think and remember and learn and language function, and found out they were impaired. Virtually all of them were impaired.
From the chemo.
From the chemo. And then when they did it in animals and they looked at their brain, yes, it was destroying parts of the brain that have to do with those functions.
Wow, we have really learned a lot in this episode, haven't we? And in the next episode, we're going to learn even more. We're going to be traveling all over the world tomorrow. I hope you join us. And I hope that you realize that this is important information that could save your life or the life of a loved one. And I hope that you share it with your friends and family. In the meantime, have a great rest of your day. Stay well, stay healthy, and God bless all of you.